I never actually imagined that I'd get into fashion. It had never been a consideration of mine. I'd always enjoyed design and art in school, but I'd never thought of fashion as an actual career. I guess the only time when it actually dawned on me that it could be is the summer after I finished my Leaving Cert. I worked in my sister's boutique just dressing windows, and from that I was asked to style a photo shoot for Limerick Now.
After the tour of America, you've been to the UK as well, and how was your trip to Glastonbury this year?
Great, very muddy, not as muddy as previous years, but it's fantastic. It's pretty exhausting, that festival. It's so big that you do spend an awful lot of your time dragging yourself through the mud, but it's amazing. There's nothing really like it.
I think actually this is very good turnout for a first event. I mean, I really think this is going to develop into something, because you're a bit starved over here compared to Goodwood and what have you. We're getting spoiled in England, and I think this is terrific turnout. Congratulations to Connor, who invited us over. Alec, I wouldn't be here except for Alec. He said he'd come over to Limerick. I said, where's that?
No, but seriously, I think the team have done a great job for a first time, and let's hope it rolls on every year. Good weekend to do it. I mean, the weather it's warm, it's good, really good, and good luck to them.
You had Terry Wogan making programmes in Ireland. You had the Queen here. Now you've got us.
I think the band developed around the songs more than the band got together first and then the songs, because it was really yourself and myself and Dara Jukes. Dara Jukes is very, very instrumental in all this, in helping us get a sound together. And
we went down with one version of a song. We recorded everything ourselves, as much as we could, and we got down with one version, and it ended up going off on a different tangent, through Dara's suggestions, so.
I used to love that. I used to love, you throw down everything, all the ideas, and then see what Dara would come back with, what kind of a mix he'd come back with, and it would never be what we'd expect, but it was always the right thing for us. It always felt right.
No, I don't really mind. I probably minded more maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because I suppose I didn't realise that it was to me now, the way I look at it, it's flattery, because I only did one episode and people think I did 5 or 6 episodes, and it's flattery because they remember that character, so I must have done something right.
And of course, Father Damo, he posed the question of a generation, Blur, Oasis. It was so important.
This car was built by Mr. Doherty in Adair. It was raced in the 1938 race. Mr. Doherty raced in 36 and 38 here in Limerick. It changed hands a couple of times since. It's a Limerick built car, so it's nice to have it here. It's not actually up and running at the moment, but it's great to have it here today just as a statics display for the show. So I'm sure the Dohertys will come to have a look at their dad's car as well. So it's a nice piece of Limerick history to have it here.
I was a bit like that when I started playing sax with John. I started with John Kinney. I mean, I was. See, you have to understand that with John it was different. You didn't just get up and play saxophone. You get up and you took your clothes off and you jumped around.
You did it full on cabaret.
Yeah. Whereas I was used to going up with a band and being a sax player, you were never a front man anyway. You were always in the back, and you stepped up for a solo and you stepped back again. Or you played with a jazz band, a quartet. It was very self-indulgent anyways.
Yeah.
You just, I don't know, I won't use the word.
Go on.
But you did. It was like musical masturbation.
Yeah.
You just
about the jazz.
Just about the music and everything else.
I want each piece of jewellery to be a piece of art in itself. So I try and get inspiration, just I can get it from anything around, but I really like taking inspiration from my surroundings, from nature and from historical sort of things that are part of the landscape. So I'll find something that I like, and then I'll simplify it down to where it can be made into silver, and then I'll make it out of silver. But I really like every piece to kind of have a bit of a life of its own.
I think it's so important nowadays for people to really appreciate homemade and handmade things, because so much time goes into them, and I just think it's a beautiful thing, and that Ireland is getting more and more back into the way it was. I think it's so important to appreciate where everything comes from.
Having built their business, starting with only €100, things are looking bright for Brandon Mary Rose.
We want to keep making jewellery, and we want to keep improving ourselves and improving the business, and keep coming up with new designs, and try and keep it fresh all the time. And hopefully in the future we can just keep doing this full time, and then it'll be able to keep us going.
Street in the middle of Limerick City, and we're about to kick off the first marathon since 1984. So with that said, welcome to the Great Limerick Run.
It's really about the work. It's about work. The work that you do defines you.
We want to work at home. We want to produce locally. We want to work with the other creative people that exist in this town, which has always been ripe and fervent with talent and ingenuity. And we kind of shared a common philosophy, really, which was that we wanted to tell the stories of the world to Limerick and tell the stories of Limerick to the world. So we want to encompass the gamut of theatre from the Greeks right up to the modern contemporary Irish playwright, and also promote the new writing that's coming. It's an exciting time amidst all this gloom and doom and recession to find that people want to be creative but also want to be entertained. So the audience that comes from Limerick are just as passionate about the work as we are creating it.
He would have loved it. You know, his family would love it.
A fabulous idea. I wish I'd thought of it myself.
He deserves his tribute and he deserves to be remembered.
They're talking about making an annual festival about it, and I think that's a great idea.
We're here outside Charlie St. George, 41 Pennell Street, Limerick, to celebrate a tribute week to Richard Harris.
You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to hold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you sit at the table, there'll be time when the demons come. Every gambler knows that the secret to survive is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep, and every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to hold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You gotta count your money. When you're sitting at the table, every time when the deal's done.
But anyway, transpires, this big limousine pulls in right outside Roach's doors, or Debenhams, wherever it was at the time, pulled up and spotted them and started waving like this. And they said, oh, here comes our people, come with us. So my mother and myself walked past everybody, through the crowd, right up underneath where Bill Clinton was.
I remember seeing it.
Yeah. I have friends in London saying, I saw you on Sky News. So they sat down anyway, and out past us comes Bill Clinton, up on the stage.
I've been trying to make sense of the situation. This time I'm thinking